Now, for more in-depth review of the biblical gold, and this is good. We already proved the Philippines is the number one land of gold in history, but how does that relate to Havilah? And we'll cover two types of gold used in the temple by other names that all lead to the same place. Check this out. Welcome to 100 Clues. The Philippines is the ancient land of gold known as Ophir in the Bible, in history. No, it's no fable, and this has already been proven in full in the God Culture Solomon's Gold series. At the request of many viewers, we have pulled out 100 compelling clues, really proofs or evidences, from this research in which we will highlight briefs of the most compelling points. And yes, there are over 100. These videos are for those who have not had time to watch Solomon's Gold series, also for review and easy to share to friends and family, especially skeptics. This brief video cannot replace that 50 video series, nor prove the way that it does, but this will be very effective nonetheless. So go there for full evidence. But now, part 12 of our series, 100 Clues, the Philippines is Ofir, one clue at a time. A quick review, we already covered the Philippines is the number 2 nation on earth for untapped gold deposits in the ground, according to Forbes, reporting for NASA, the mining companies, and the Fraser Institute. We actually cite 2 sources for that study. And they study these things, so they know that the Philippines is number 2 on earth in gold. And it is also among the top most mineral-rich countries on earth as well, in the top 5. We already showed you a map of the Greek source of gold from Pomponius Mela, which leads to the Philippines. Silver too. Notice Christ, which is Ophir, is essentially Luzon, Philippines, and Argyle, the island of silver, just south in basically Mindanao, or Tarshish, the biblical land of silver. Someone tried to mislead that we said this map was from 800 BC. We never said any such. It's just not accurate. You can see we put a date on the slide. This is the same one we used before. 43 AD is when this map was created. It was recreated in the 1800s even from that original. So no, we don't say that this map is from 800 BC, but the route did not change. The point is, the source did not change since 800 BC. This is a map of the route that the Greeks took, thus proof. This is just the only map available, and historical references support this, making it completely accurate. So let's see what we have here. In 1000 BC, gold mines existed in the Philippines. That's Solomon's era, the era of the temple. Now we see tons of support for this, but this is absolutely based on a Wikipedia reference. And we set out to test that, and we find that the Greek Christ, the Isles of Gold, to the Greeks, from 800 to 100 BC, were routes picked up from the Phoenicians, which the Greeks inherited, their culture, their language, all of those infusions you'll see in the Greek culture. So that's 800 to 100. Pretty much confirming the 1000 BC, which, all in all, proving that the Philippines is the ancient land of Havilah, actually proves it goes much further than that. But let's stick with our timeline. So in 200 BC, Professor Adrian Horridge documents that the Philippines was exporting gold to Sri Lanka, and India, of course. So, 0 AD, we have Egyptian find, archeology, when Philippine gold has been found there. 200 AD, Philippines traded gold in China. 300 AD, traded in China. The Chinese called it the Isles of Gold. 671 AD, the Chinese pilgrim. Now, before we had the wrong date on this, and we've been able to verify this and really pin this down. 671 AD is the date. And then you also have 982 AD, still Philippines calling this the land of gold. It is a continual pattern. This is not a mystery here, and you just don't see this of other lands. Then when the Muslims came, what did they call this land? The land of gold in 1200 AD. Now, that's just after South Africa, and in fact, especially the Muslims are the ones to record that South Africa had some gold panning in rivers around 1100 AD. That's according to the South African universities and their sources and histories there. Then you have 1884, South Africa has its gold rush. So it's not even in the running here, let's be clear. Then we have 1521 AD, Magellan shows up. You have Pigafetta recording so much about all of the gold mines all over the place in the Philippines. I mean, it's recorded all over. And if he didn't go there, he heard there was gold there in some cases. But even bigger when the Spanish returned. We see tons of records. Oh, there are gold mines there. There are gold mines there. You keep seeing that over and over and over. So there's no doubt that the Philippines has been loaded with gold all along. Now, today, it's number 2 in untapped gold reserves. Therefore, in all of history, it's number 1, because South Africa's already discounted. And there is no other land on earth that can compare to the output of gold in this entire narrative that all ties together. There's some out there that will say, oh, this is confirmation biased. No, this is history, and it vets out really well. Now, initially, we admit, we pulled some of our resources 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago even, when we started this journey. Some were pulled from other websites and blogs, and we're quoting sources, and we quoted them quoting the sources. Certainly that happened. Most YouTube channels do that, and we're not actually embarrassed by that. We're fine that we got that start. But as we've graduated to the next level, right now graduated to the level of publishing a book soon, let's hope, and in doing so, we have been nailing our resources down, our sources especially, to the nth degree. And we're finding that everything in that research generally was just fine, has been all along. And the conclusions are incredibly solid. No one can challenge it successfully. There's bloggers out there that will try, but they will not do so successfully. So the Philippines is number 1 in gold in all of history. Jeremiah and Daniel both speak of this valuable gold, the biblical gold, in this case called Upas. Well, that's not Ophir, right? Actually, it is. We'll show you. First, notice Jeremiah equating the silver from Tarshish and this gold of Upas together as originating from the same place. And again, it's just like the map we showed you of Christ and Argyre, the land of gold, the land of silver, the land of Ophir, the land of Tarshish in biblical terms. Why? They are from the same region. And again, there's a map showing it. Here's the definition of Upas. According to Hitchcock's ATS, Easton's International Standard Bible, Encyclopedia, etc., Upas is fine gold, but look where it is from. This is very telling. The Pisan River. We just covered that, right? The Pisan River is the first river from Eden, the ancient river from even before the flood, which surrounds Havilah, the land of Adam and Eve, the land of gold. Now, okay, so this very specific, but look now, where they go from here. They say, perhaps a corruption. No, not perhaps. Probably, I love their tentative language, but we prove it, definitely, is another name for Ophir. In fact, look at the two Hebrew words which we will cover later in the series. They have the same exact first three letters even. Ladies and gentlemen, Upas gold, tied with the silver of Tarshish, is the gold of Ophir, found in the land surrounded by the Pison River, ancient Havilah, named for Eve, or Hava, the land of Adam and Eve. Wow, this all ties together. This is not just a slam dunk, but there's another gold that leads to the same exact place. And then watch where all three resources of Havilah lead. Well, the same place. See, because we are not just dealing with any land of gold. No. Look at the word used for the gold of that land is good. Now in Hebrew, talb, good, means also best, better. Now that's Ophir according to Scripture. It has the best gold, the better gold than anywhere else. Is it because its quality is higher? Well, it is high quality gold. There's no doubting that. However, it's because its value is to Yahuwah, because it's the gold that Adam used in the very first sacrifice in the land of Adam and Eve, where he made his first atonement for mankind. Another definition, bountiful, most abundant in all of history. That would be Ophir. Fine gold of Ophir is all over Scripture. Precious gold, that's also in Scripture many times. Prosperity, meaning number one. Wealth, number one. These really lead to Ophir ultimately. Why? Because ancient Havilah, land of Adam and Eve, is Ophir, known today as the Philippines. The gold of Ophir was used for one, to overlay the walls of the temple. 3,000 talents. So that's no small amount. Realize, that's 99,000 kilos, or 225,000 pounds, or 112 tons of gold. Wow. And in today's value, just in gold, whether alone the silver, which is more than double in weight, $4.2 billion of gold was used just to overlay the walls of the temple. Some say, well, if I don't see remnants of the temple, then it never existed. But they seem to not be able to read history because the Babylonians took all of this gold. They didn't leave 1 ounce, none. And they utterly destroyed the first temple. And even the second temple was completely destroyed for the same reason. And even Messiah said that no stone would be left unturned. It's all gone. Nor is it in Jerusalem today. It's in the city of David. What they're looking at and praying to at the Wailing Wall is actually a Roman fortress. Now, to assume you can is to create a false paradigm which will entrap you before you even start. And we see this all the time. However, this gold was also called by another name in Chronicles. Check this out. 2 Chronicles 3, 6, and 7 says the walls of the temple were overlaid with the gold of Parvaim. Was the writer of Chronicles confused or mistaken? That's supposed to be the gold of Ophir, isn't it? Yes, because they are the same thing. He's not actually saying anything different here. Parvaim, by definition, leads to a region in the Orient or Far East, like the Philippines. Even the Bible dictionaries pick up on this one as well, saying it is probably, no, not probably, definitely, Ophir. Look how it is shortened to Sephar. You mean Sephar, where Joktan's sons migrated? Exactly! This is a tie right there. Sephar Vaim, or Parvaim. P-H, same thing in Hebrew. Take out the CE and you have Parvaim. It's the same place. And this is another biblical clue. And the Syriac and Targum Jonathan versions of the Bible, though not necessarily scripture, we don't say that, but just go ahead and replace this word with Safar. So they know something is going on here. Safar is well recorded, and obviously this has been obscured for some reason. This is Safar and Ophir. They are all the same. It is Havilah, all of it. It all ties as one. And this last source really connects. Now, we are going to use a writing from the Dead Sea Scrolls for support. It's not our case, but we would be remiss not to mention an historical document from about 100 BC or before. Whether anyone calls it scripture or not, which is really impertinent. This is historical context, and it fits well, and this is support, not primary evidence, but it certainly makes the case that much stronger. Genesis Apocryphon from the Dead Sea Scrolls, which is not Genesis, but it's named that because it covers the same era. They just love to give names that confuse, to keep everything obscure. This is why they say that Essenes lived in Qumran, which is frankly illiterate, historically speaking. No one can actually prove that because they actually lived 25 miles south of Qumran. John the Baptist lived there, and we proved that in our original canon series. Anyway, when Noah was born, his father Lamech was worried by his appearance, as he had milky white skin, not like a white dude, but as a Nephilim. We believe it was actually albino, based on all the descriptions, and somehow this may have given Noah the traits to preserve all the races. But that's another video we won't get into. Lamech goes to his father Methuselah, who then goes to visit Enoch. The thing is, Enoch was already taken by Yahuwah at that point. Where? Oh, not to heaven. No, the book of Jubilees says he was conducted into the Garden of Eden. Now we'll show you that next. This passage in the middle says, Methuselah went at once to Parvaim, or Parvaim. Understand, there is no V in ancient Hebrew. It's always a W, never a V. Sometimes a U, which is a single U. So it's a W or a single U. But it's the same word here. And he found him, Enoch, there. So let's review this. Enoch was where? Here's the scripture in Jubilees that says Enoch lives in the Garden of Eden, and Methuselah knew this. He went there as the son of Enoch, and the angels well knew whom he was. No, he did not enter. He was corruptible. And the Garden of Eden is incorruptible. So obviously Enoch came out. So, if you went to Parvaim, though, to find Enoch, then Parvaim is another name for the Garden of Eden. Or, how about the area generally? Either way, 3 golds, Ophir, Upaz, Parvaim, all lead to the Garden of Eden, where Ophir and his brothers migrated. And once again, let us not forget this continues to prove out that the 3-year journey is in fact a round-trip journey indeed. It becomes so evident as these things prove out. Anyone attempting to read it however they wish is really just ignoring what it says and how it proves out. It is a 3-year round-trip journey, period. And don't worry, we'll test every one of these resources and others in the passages, which lead also to only one place on earth. This is not rocket science, ladies and gentlemen. It's just suppressed history, and it will be restored in this day. So that's gold. The Philippines is not just abundant in gold, fitting the passage, but it is number one in all of history. But what about the other two resources of Havilah? Coming next. What if the Philippines was number one in all three? Imagine that one. By the end of the next two videos, you will know the answer and fully know where the land of Adam and Eve is, ancient Havilah. So continue with the next videos coming right after this, and we will locate this land by its resources, gold, bdellium, and the onyx stone. As we keep saying, there is no debating. The Philippines is the land of gold in all of history. It is time this knowledge be restored. For those about to comment in ignorance, yep, we always get them, we dare you to watch Solomon's Gold series by The God Culture, the original channel, to prove the Philippines is in fact Ophir and also the Garden of Eden. Even here, we are breaking these into sound bites and clear points, but watch how all 100 clues tie together in history, the Bible, science, geography, language, etc. in this series will blow you away. Thank you for watching 100 Clues. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click the bell and like us on our new Facebook, The God Culture-Original. If you wish to skip ahead, go to the God Culture YouTube channel and watch their Solomon's Gold series in English or Tagalog, and there will be a link on the next screen. We can know this truth and be confident this belongs to the Philippines, and no one can disprove it. Until next time.